Should I sow seeds directly into the ground or make seedlings? A mistake that almost everyone makes in the garden. Every year it's the same story. We sow seeds, water them, go around the garden, and then nothing. Either the plant sprouts, then stops, or they get eaten by frost, snail, cold soil. And then we ask ourselves, what did I do wrong? The truth is that the problem is often not in the seeds nor in the watering, but in where and how the seed is sown. Not all seeds are suitable for direct sowing, just as not all plants are happy when transplanted. The good news is that this is not complicated once you understand the logic behind sowing. There are plants that simply don't like transplanting and want to be where they will grow from the beginning. And there are those that have almost no chance of good start without seedlings. Direct sowing into the ground seems simple. You make rows, sow the seed, cover with soil, and then water. However, the problem arises because the soil in spring is often cold, compacted, and unevenly moist. The seeds then germinate slowly, rot, or are eaten by pests. In addition, small plants have a hard time dealing with weeds that sprout faster and stronger than the seedlings. But this doesn't mean that direct sowing isn't good. You just need to know which seeds go directly and which don't. There are plants that develop deep or sensitive roots and don't like transplanting. It is best for them to start immediately in the place where they are going to grow. This group includes carrots, parsley, parsnips, radishes, peas, beans, corn, Swiss chard, spinach, zucchini, pumpkins, and cucumbers. Some of those plants can also be used as seedlings, but with caution. These plants develop roots better when sown directly. Transplanting often stops their growth, and in the case of root vegetables, it leads to deformed fruits. The key for them is good soil preparation, loose, rich in organic matter, and without fresh manure. The question is, when do seedlings have a bigger advantage? On the other hand, we have plants that germinate slowly, are sensitive at first, and require warmth. For them, direct sowing often means a waste of time and a poor yield. Here, seedlings have a clear advantage. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, cabbages, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, celery, leeks. With these crops, seedlings allow the plant to strengthen in controlled conditions, heat, moisture, and light, and under our control. When we transplant them into the garden, they already have developed roots and leaves, so they can more easily withstand stress, colder nights, and pest attacks. One of the biggest mistakes is trying to sow everything in the same way and at the same time. Either everything is sown directly into the ground so as not to be bothered with seedlings, or too many seedlings are made even from plants that don't like it. The right approach is combination, direct sowing where it makes sense and seedlings where they bring an advantage in terms of time, plant health, and yield. The solution is in understanding the plant. If the plant germinates quickly, has strong roots, and doesn't like to be moved, sow directly. If it grows slowly, requires warmth, and a long development period, then transplant. Once you adopt this, the garden starts to work for you. Less hassle, fewer empty beds, and much stronger plants from the very beginning. Because in the garden, the point is not to do everything the same, but to do it in the way that suits the plants best. These are general informations about plants that like or don't like transplanting. Of course, at the right time, we will talk about each plant separately, the method of sowing, growing, temperatures, and time of sowing and planting. So I do recommend that you stay with us. Write to us in the comments your questions and experiences, how you grow individual plants, and why this method of growing suits you best. For example, I grow some plants in both ways and compare them. For example, peas, I like to make a certain number of seedlings and I sow them directly, while cucumbers, I always sow directly into the ground because transplanting is not the best option for them. Basically, contact us, leave us a like and share the video with your friends. We'll be hanging out tomorrow in a new video with new useful topics. Thank you for watching.